All right, guys. I know these videos are longer than they have been in the past, and I'm sorry. But this one might be a little over 20 minutes too. Fingers crossed. So, we're ending this sucker. Okay, why are we fighting in the first place? Because this guy got shot? No, that's not really the reason World War One is being fought. It's kind of like a whole bunch of different little issues that have just all exploded at the same time. That being said, look at this map. We talked for the last couple of videos about the US. We are now involved, okay? And what you have happen is when Russia leaves, when they pull out of the war, I'll talk about it in the next video, I promise. I think. If I don't have to split this one into two, we'll see. The German troops that were all right here fighting Russia pick up and move back, flooding the trenches. At that point, you have the US, because we have joined the war, Great Britain, France, Italy, Portugal, and like again, the whole British Empire. India, oh my gosh, Australia, Canada, they're all fighting here. All right. Um, Austria. Austria has been able to fight over here, okay, once Russia leaves. Well, look who else leaves. When Russia pulls out of the war, the Ottoman Empire is like, Germany? One of the reasons that we got into this war on your side is because we wanted control of the Black Sea. Well, you just signed a deal that Russia left, and do we get that? There's also another issue going on in the Ottoman Empire at the same time. It's called the Armenian Genocide. Okay. Armenians are a group of people that live down here in the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire is predominantly Muslim. All right. The Armenians are not Muslim, they're a group of Christians. Um, the Armenian genocide, by the way, genocide, in case, wait, I don't think we've talked about that yet. Genocide means to slaughter an entire group of people, usually for religious reasons or like racial or ethnic reasons. Okay. The Holocaust is the most famous of those. Last year in the ninth grade, you guys talked about the Rwanda issue. That was a genocide. Okay. So, anyway, the Armenians are Christians, and they're not just being slaughtered because they're Christians by the Ottoman Empire. They also don't support the fact that the Ottoman Empire is fighting this war on the side of Germany. Okay, so it's not just that they're Christians, although of course that plays a huge role, but it's also because they don't support. I'm sorry. It's also because they don't support the Ottoman Empire. So the Ottoman Empire is like, we don't have time to deal with this crap. We're just going to kill you all. And so they just start slaughtering the Armenians. Well, of course, we find out and we're about those natural rights, right? And so we start putting a lot of pressure on the Ottoman Empire to quit. The Ottoman Empire will pull out of this war. Um, when they decide to leave, okay, that does something major. These countries down here, Greece and Albania, that are like fighting the Ottoman Empire for their like freedom, they don't have a reason to fight. So the Ottoman Empire's out, but so are Greece and Albania. Okay. The troops here that were fighting the Ottoman Empire, the Italian troops, they're going to now focus, they're going to turn and go to Bulgaria and then come up here and flood Austria. Well, Bulgaria is fighting Serbia and of course now Italy, and Bulgaria can't sustain that. And so Bulgaria is like, okay, if everybody else is out, we're out too. So Bulgaria leaves. Well, at that point, the Italian troops move up here to all flood Austria. Serbia is like, okay, well, I guess we're not at war anymore. So now Serbia can focus on Austria. Austria is the superior military at this point between these countries down here. But Austria has been fighting on so many fronts for so long that she has a major problem. She was fighting up here. Okay, she did pull her troops down this way, but she was fighting up here, here, here also where Romania was coming through, here with Italy and north with Italy. Her military was separated and she was fighting in so many different places for so long that Austria is literally taxed. Like Austria's running out of supplies. Austria sends word to Germany and they're like, "Hey, do you have supplies? We need what is it, ammunition and stuff." And Germany's like, "Seriously? Do we have to do everything for you? Like we're fighting all of these countries. Like you have the baby countries and you can't beat them? Deal with yourself." Well, Austria gets to the point where she cannot sustain fighting because she's out of ammunition. Like when you don't have ammunition and your primary weapon is a machine gun, eh, you got a problem. So eventually, Austria will surrender. They will pull out of this war. Um, when Austria officially surrenders, she doesn't sign an armistice. Hey, let's quit fighting. She does that with Serbia. She's like, okay, fine, we're not going to take you over. Fine. Um, but then she surrenders to Italy. That matters. That matters. Surrender is different from an armistice. Armistice means you put down your guns, I'll put down my guns, and we're just finished. Surrender means I admit I lose. Okay? There's like a little kid. I'm really shy and I get nervous. And he was like walking with his family across like the window here, and it's like a huge window. And he was like looking in. Okay, so moving along. So anyway, Austria's out. That means all of the Italian troops, and again, Italy's not a majorly strong country, but the troops here flood the trenches in the south to help everybody else, right? That means everybody left in this war is fighting one country, Germany. Germany's holding her own. She's weakening, she's struggling, but she's holding her own until finally Germany and Great Britain talk. You remember when we looked at pictures of Queen Victoria? I talked about Queen Victoria. I cannot remember exactly if they're cousins or second cousins or what, but somehow the King of Great Britain, the King of England, and the King of Germany, the Kaiser, they're related because of Victoria. I don't remember if they're, like I said, first cousins, second cousins, what they are, but they're related to each other. So it's like family. The Queen of Russia is related to all of them. So it's weird. But anyway, finally the King of England and the King of Germany talk and they come up to this agreement where they're like, why are we fighting? Well, I don't know. You declared war on us, England. Well, yeah, we declared war on you because you invaded Belgium. Well, yeah, but we had to invade Belgium so that we could surprise France. Well, why are you fighting France? Well, because France was going to go help Russia. Everybody's kind of getting to the point where they're going, what the heck are we doing? And so an armistice is signed. The end of World War I is called Armistice Day. And again, let me reiterate, armistice means you put down your weapons, I put down my weapons, and we go home. If you want to get technical, there's not a winner, there's not a loser. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. So anyway, if you want to get technical, there's not a winner, there's not a loser. You just go home. Imagine playing, I don't know, I know soccer. What's the football game? The Super Bowl or the World Cup in soccer or whatever it is you watch. Imagine playing the game. And you get to this point where you go, it's 0-0. Let's just go home. Yeah, that doesn't happen in a World Cup game. I don't know what happens in football. I don't know, but I know what happens in soccer. That doesn't happen in a World Cup game. We go to extra time. If we're still at 0-0 at extra time, we have penalty shoots. Ah! You don't like ties. Because us as human beings, we need there to be a winner and a loser. We need there to be a good guy and a bad guy. We desire that. Everybody goes home except Austria. And everybody goes home and they're like, woohoo, we won this war. We go home and we're having like parades and stuff. So is England. So is Germany. Everybody feels like they won. Well, everybody can't win, right? There has to be a bad guy. Or why did we just kill as many people as we just killed? Huh. In our minds, there has to be a bad guy. Oh man. Fast forward. Did I put the date? I don't know if I put the date. Let me look at your notes and see if the date's on here. 1920. That's what I thought. I just wasn't positive if it was 1919 or 1920. Okay, so World War I ends in 1918. Okay, everybody goes home. Everybody has parties. Everybody won. Yes. But over time, people start going, Germany destroyed our land. Austria destroyed our land. The Ottoman Empire destroyed our land. Shouldn't they be punished? Technically, only the countries who surrendered lost. And that's where a lot of the issue is going to come when we start talking in next week about like Adolf Hitler and stuff and what is it other fascist countries. They're angry about what happened after World War One. Well, people start questioning things, and there's a meeting somewhere that you know. It's in France, and it is at the Palace of Versailles. Remember Versailles, Louis XIV and 15th and 16th? Yeah. So anyway, they purposefully did this at the Palace of Versailles so that countries that were coming to Versailles would have to see the destruction from the trenched out land, which I'll explain in a minute. But all of these countries get together at the Palace of Versailles, all these European countries, and they talk about, okay, somebody has to be blamed. So here's some of the consequences. Do I have these in order? I don't know if I do or not. I feel like I usually talk about Germany first, but that's not the picture here. So if I go out of order for your notes, I'm sorry. Okay, look at this. Right here, you're looking at, here it is, the Ottoman Empire, okay, before World War One. So it's this right here. Okay. Look at the 1922 map. This is the Ottoman Empire. After World War One. Where'd it go? It's gone. The Ottoman Empire is broken up. The the Treaty of Versailles, the meeting is called by England and it's hosted by France. So because it's called by England, England's in charge. Kids are always like, who says that the Ottoman Empire were the bad guys? I don't know how to answer that question except they're in charge. I don't know. That being said, it is decided not just by England, by other countries who signed the Treaty of Versailles, that the Ottoman Empire was bad for being involved in this war. Hold on. And they didn't really have a reason to get into this war except that they wanted to fight Russia, to take control of the Black Sea, and to take their land over here back, England and stuff. So the Ottoman Empire is gone. It is broken up. Okay, these are the new countries that are created. France gets to control this little area here. Yeah. England gets to control this over here. Okay, this right here that's Italian, like, okay, you're looking, it's hard to see on this map, but if you look over here at this map, that's Ethiopia, which, if you remember from the imperialism week, is supposed to be owned by Italy anyway. So this right here, this little sliver of land, Ethiopia, which right now is independent, remember, But this right here is given to Italy from the Italian Empire because Ethiopia is supposed to be Italian. You're also going to start seeing new countries created. So Turkey is here, Syria, Lebanon. We have all these new countries being created. Okay, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, up here, Iraq. I'm about to sneeze again. So frustrating. Hold on. I would just like to do a video without sneezing. I'm about to do it again. Oh my gosh. I was better in Midland with my allergies. Sorry, guys. Okay, so anyway, the Ottoman Empire broken up. Let me zoom out. I think I'm about to sneeze again, y'all. Pictures, pictures, pictures. One of the big things that happens in Europe is the creation of a whole bunch of new countries, too. This, there we go. This is the map that I was showing you of World War One. Okay. Germany and Russia share a border. This is after World War One. Germany and Russia do not share a border. Land from Russia up here is going to turn into Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Land from Germany here is going to be turned into Poland, the biggest chunk, and a country called East Prussia. A whole new country is created here, right here, carved out of part of Austria, a little piece of Germany, and it's called Czechoslovakia. Guys, Czechoslovakia does not exist today. Today, it's two different countries. You have the Czech Republic over here and Slovakia over here. Guys, you can't just create a new country and force people to live together that don't want to live together. Here in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, when the Czechs lived there and the Slovaks lived there and the Hungarians lived there and the Bohemians who were Czechs lived there, Austria allowed them to keep their own culture. Well, now that they're a new country called Czechoslovakia, they're expected to be Czechoslovakian. And a lot of those people are like, So that's not going to be a country that's going to last. Okay. Look at Austria. Oh my gosh. Austria goes from this to that. That is Austria's big punishment, is being just absolutely decimated as far as size. The capital, Vienna, is like way over here. Like it's barely in the Austrian border. You also have Hungary that's punished. Romania, if you look, actually gained land. Do you see this? Romania gained land. Look over here. Serbia, Montenegro, Albania. Serbia is gone. Serbia is gone, you guys. Totally gone. What? The country of Yugoslavia does not exist either anymore today, 2000, whatever we're in, 20. I remember like when Yugoslavia was blowing up, not literally. Well, kind of, I guess, with the whole Bosnian thing. I was in high school and I didn't understand why they were fighting. They didn't want to be thrown together in one big country where you have Bosnians and Serbians and, oh my gosh, Herzegovinans and Montenegrians and all these groups of people. They want to be their own country, but they threw them all together and just forced them to all live in the same place. We have this whole slew of new countries, which is fine. It's just going to create a whole new issue of problems. First of all, I've told you over and over again, new countries struggle. Baby countries struggle. They do. These countries are going to struggle until they get control. The problem with that is the Great Depression is coming. And these countries don't have enough time to get control before the Great Depression. The other issue is Germany. Germany used to go all the way to here, guys. Okay, so there are Germans that live here in Czechoslovakia. There are Germans that live here in this part of Poland. There's definitely Germans that live here in Prussia. One of the things, oh, they also lost land over here. Well, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Um, well, I guess it matters. There's a section of land over here called the Rhineland that is given back to France. Okay. The Rhineland, it's like right in here. The Rhineland is also going to be where a lot of Germans were. All right. But it's all trenched out. So who cares? So, anyway, a lot of Germans live in this land. One of the things that Adolf Hitler is doing is he's trying to get all Germans back together under one flag so that there aren't Germans in this country, in this country, in this country, in this country. Okay. So we have this whole new map that is created. These countries, these baby countries, are going to need help. They set up something called the mandate system. The mandate system is basically like a mentor system, okay, where allied countries like England, France, Italy, America, we kind of were mentors for these countries. So, like, and I don't know which is which, but like if Poland had a problem, they could go to their mentor. I don't know, us. I just made that up. I don't know who Poland's mentor was, but we kind of mentor them, we help them out. All right. Um, the biggest thing that the Treaty of Versailles does, not just punishing Ottoman Empire, oops, not just punishing Austria and Germany with size. The biggest thing that the Treaty of Versailles does is they decide to punish Germany. Germany didn't start World War I, guys, but they did make it worse than it needed to be with their weapons, with jumping the gun and declaring war on people. And again, I'm not trying to be mean about Germany. You know, I love German history. You know that, but they do make it worse than it needs to be. One of the things that they, and again, I don't know if this goes in order with your notes, but one of the things that they do to Germany is they force Germany to give up all of her colonies. Well, that's not a terrible thing. I mean, nobody likes losing their colonies, but Germany doesn't have a huge amount of colonies. I mean, they do, but when you compare it to England, so who cares? By the way, who got her colonies? Well, England and France mostly. Hmm. So one of the things Germany has to decolonize, give up her colonies. Another thing that Germany has to do is demilitarize. That's pretty normal. Okay, when a country surrenders, they have to demilitarize, which means you cut your military. Germany goes through what is called a total demilitarization. Okay, listen, it doesn't mean like, even though it's called total, it doesn't mean they completely give up their entire military. No, they go to like 100,000 people in the military. Um, Midland, our city, is a little bit less than 100,000. Okay. Imagine only having 100,000 people to protect this entire border. Is that enough? They're also going to have to send a lot of their weapons, their tanks, their airplanes, machine guns, stuff like that. They also have to send all of that to England. England is going to like divvy that up among the allied countries. And again, kids are always like, who the crap does England think they are? They called this meeting, they're in charge of it. Germany is going to turn into the big loser of World War One. You just have to remember, if you want to get technical, did Germany lose by signing an armistice? No, no, no. Now, Germany is going to accept defeat once she signs this treaty, but technically, she shouldn't have signed it. That being said, the other big thing that Germany is going to have to do is pay reparations. If you look at your vocab, oh, I just saw it in the notes, or if you look at your notes on the second page, I don't know where it is, but where is it? Do you see the word? Where is it? Reparation, right here. The word reparation, if you look at the first few letters, it looks like repair. All right. Um, Reparations, the idea is it's money that is given from the loser of a war to the winner of a war to repair those countries. All the land over here, all of it, is totally poison gassed and totally trenched out. You can't grow anything in this part of France right now. You can't grow anything in this part of Germany, which is sad because that's a Black Forest. Things are dying because of poison gas, not the whole Black Forest, obviously. Belgium is affected. Switzerland's affected. France over here is affected. I'm sure part of England was affected because of wind. You also have issues over here on this front, okay, because it wasn't trench warfare, but it was still fighting. You have issues in Europe from the fighting, all right? Germany's going to have to pay reparations, just $33 billion worth. Okay, $33 billion today is like, yeah, okay, I'll pay that. Back then, nobody even talked about money in billions like we do today. Billions wasn't even thought of in 1918, or I guess this is 1920. But Germany, I'm sure, was like, did you mean 33 million? And England's like, that isn't the whole cost of the war. That's the cost of the war that they had figured out up to this point. All right. That is a ridiculous amount of money. And Germany has to pay it. The way that England, or the way it was set up, was Germany would pay England in payments. Because everybody knows you can't just write a $33 billion check, even if you're a country. So Germany would pay England payments. England would take that money and then divvy it up between the allied countries. Okay. This video is getting way too long. We're almost done. Hang with me, I promise. Our president, President Woodrow Wilson, our President Wilson didn't think this was a good idea. Woodrow Wilson was concerned that we were making a bigger, like, monster out of Germany with all these punishments. He felt like the punishments were too harsh. And he actually wouldn't sign the Treaty of Versailles unless his 14 points were put into it. Okay, we are not going to talk about all 14 points. You'll learn it, I assume, in in next year in US history. What we need to deal with is his idea of a League of Nations. The League of Nations was going to be this group of countries that would all come together and almost be like a peacekeeping squad. If some big bad country comes up and wants to start taking over people, the idea is that the League of Nations are supposed to come in and be like, no, if you attack that country, you attack all of us. We all come at you. Okay. So think about it like this. I don't know. Let's say somebody named, I don't know. Let's just pick a name out of the air. I don't know. Adolf Hitler comes along and decides he wants to take over, I don't know, something, part of Czechoslovakia. Yeah. I mean, it could happen. The idea is that all of the countries who are part of the League of Nations say, if you take that over, you're fighting all of us. The idea is everybody joins together. Okay, the League of Nations didn't work. It did not work. Today, we don't even have the League of Nations. Today, it's the United Nations because the League of Nations didn't work. It didn't work for a few reasons. One of the reasons was the United States, whose idea it was, wasn't part of it. It's your idea, and we're not even part of it. But we aren't part of it because Woodrow Wilson wouldn't sign the Treaty of Versailles. Guys, America didn't back the Treaty of Versailles. Yeah, we fought against Germany, but our government believed that it was too harsh of a punishment for Germany. $33 billion, who can pay that back then? And should Germany pay the reparations for countries that they never were at war with? Should Germany's reparation money be going to Serbia? Germany wasn't at war with Serbia. Austria was. Should Germany be paying reparations for, I don't know, Austria? So he felt like the consequences on Germany were just too much, and therefore he wouldn't sign it. All right. That's one of the reasons that the League of Nations was not successful. Nobody's going to believe something if your own leader isn't even part of it. The other thing is, it's only 32 countries. I don't know how many countries in the world, probably around 200, but only 32 countries were part of the League of Nations. That wasn't enough, a strong enough group of countries to scare somebody who might be like Adolf Hitler, okay, or Benito Mussolini coming in Italy, or I don't know, Japan with Emperor Hirohito coming, or Hideki Tojo. It's not enough. I'm almost done with this video, I promise. I feel like it's gone on for so long. That's not enough countries to concern somebody like this. Have we hit everything? So, yes. Okay, so let me just show you before, I promise, I know it's a long video, I'm sorry. But let me just show you some pictures of destruction after World War One. Like, look at this. These are just places that are just bleh, all destroyed, messed up. How do you even rebuild after that? Like, I don't even know where you start. Have you ever gone to your bedroom and just looked at how messy it is and gone, oh, where do I start? Right? Look, this is casualties. Okay. Um, I want you to notice World War One Allied casualties. Um, oh, I didn't include. I didn't. Maybe I'll tack it on to the bottom of the notes because I don't want to like stop, or I'll just do it in a second. Okay, I want you to notice casualties. Look at dead. Okay. It's easy to look at us and go, only 53,000. We were only in the war for 1 year, guys. Everybody else fought this war for 4 years. We fought it for 1 year. 53,000 dead in 1 year. Look at Russia. Oh my gosh, y'all. Russia was only in the war for 3 years. Look at England. They were there the whole time almost. Look at France. The reason that France has so many dead is because a lot of it is that poison gas. All right. A whole lot of it is that poison gas. When you look at it, you look at Japan, you're like, Japan was in this war? Yes, don't worry about it. Well, I guess we should deal with it now, but I'm not going to right now. I do. Let me pause this because I want you to see the casualties on the central power side. So let me pause the video. Hold on. Am I back? Okay. So this right here is actually the picture I thought I had. Sorry, I just left out the central powers. But so you see this down here, and you can pause it and look more, whatever. But look at the deaths here for Germany. They have the most, probably no surprise. Austria is second, probably no surprise. All right. But when I want you to look at like the percentages for a second. Like really just pause this and just look at the percentages. The percentage of like people who went to war. All right. Look. And then look at the wounded. Oof. Look at the wounded. Guys, when you come down here, look at that number. Like I suck at math, but I'm pretty sure that's 12 million. Is it right? Oh my gosh. It's just crazy. It's really sad and crazy. And I ask you again, like, what was this fought for? Was there a big bad guy? No. I mean, of course, Germany is the big bad guy. I should tell you this. No, I'll tell you later. Um, it's just, I don't know. This is like the saddest war to me because there isn't a clear cut reason. There's a lot of little reasons, but it's just like this snowball that just everything just falls apart. And it just, next thing you know, 4 years later, everybody's dead. And again, you guys keep hearing about the Spanish flu that came right after this. Now let's add on all of those deaths on top of this. Oh my gosh. World War One, not good. And we still have World War Two. All right, next week, the 1930s and the rise of fascism. Bye.